Hey guys, this is Matthias, and I just want to let you know about a new game that I started playing. It's called Survarium, unless I'm mispronouncing that. And it's based on the former S.T.A.L.K.E.R series, which includes 3 games: S.T.A.L.K.E.R Shadow of Chernobyl, S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky, and the third one is called The Call of Pripyat. Now, in many aspects, this is a standard shooter game, but the story is based on a science fiction version of what happened after the disaster with one of the nuclear reactors in Chernobyl 1986. Now, the closest nearby area to the nuclear reactor or the nuclear power plant is called the zone. And because of the radiation after this disaster, there has been a lot of strange unnatural things happening in nature, such as anomalies, and it has created artifacts, a lot of mutated animals, and some such. And as far as I know, Survarium is supposed to be a survival horror game based on the 3 S.T.A.L.K.E.R games. Now, my initial impression of this game is that it's basically a standard shooter game as far as I've seen the first day of playing it. What I'm playing here is an 8 versus 8 PvP, kind of capture the flag type gameplay where you're supposed to steal the enemy's batteries once they are charged up. And there's also a standard team deathmatch mode. And these are the 2 game modes that I've played so far. Now, the maps are kind of standard size for a smaller infantry map in the Battlefield games, I guess, or Call of Duty. Is nothing spectacular about the size. The environment has a lot of vegetation, though, and that goes for basically all the maps that I've seen so far. Initially, I felt that the movements and the reactions, the control you have of your character is a bit sluggish. It's not that quick initial control that you would want, or at least that I would want, but it still feels pretty good, actually. It takes a little bit of getting used to. I do miss the separate aim-down sight sensitivity, something that very few games actually have. I guess I've been spoiled by PlanetSide 2. It's a big factor for me, I have to say. So the game is currently in beta. It's open beta, so if you want to check it out, just click on the link in the description below this video and get into the game. It's going to be free to play when it's released, which I'm not entirely sure of the date as of now, but I'm sure that information is very easy to find. Now, when I first started reading about this game, I thought it was going to be more of a survival game than what you see here, which is just a standard shooter arena type game. So now whatever this game is supposed to be once it's finished is of course impossible for me to tell as of now. There is no spotting in this game as far as I can tell, at least. If there is, then I've missed it. And also friendly fire is on, so yeah, you gotta be careful if you're not used to that. Yeah, that's what can happen. Now, when you pick up one of these batteries, it looks like this when you get to the enemy base, and then you have to carry it all the way home to your own base, and it looks exactly the same there where you're supposed to put it. Now, when you're holding the battery, you cannot sprint and you cannot shoot. However, you can, of course, drop the battery on the ground and bring out your weapon that way. And then you can pick the battery up again. Of course, if the guy who carries the battery gets killed, you want to bring that battery home to your base, whether it was yours to begin with or not. Now, a lot of the base design is based on what it actually looks like in this abandoned zone in real life, and basically what has happened is that, of course, all the people just left, and with that all the structures started falling to pieces and nature started taking over and moving in, both in terms of vegetation and animals. Not entirely sure if we're going to see animals in the future though, but in the S.T.A.L.K.E.R games there was plenty of them. I haven't seen any in this game so far though. There's also been a lot of talk about you know, performance issues and stuff like that. I haven't had any problems so far, and I'm playing the game mainly on high, a mixture of high and medium. And you can see the frame rate meter up in the top left corner above the minimap there. And I will also let you see my computer specifications in the description. Yeah, there are some things about this game that are rather unique, and I guess this is some of the aspects of the survival game. And that is like, for example, if you haven't filled up with ammo before a round starts, then you can run out. And even after you respawn, after you're dead, you still have no ammo. And this happened to me in at least one of the rounds, and after that I was quite careful about it though. And when it comes to weapons, ammo, and apparel, utility, gear, whatever, anything that you wanted that you customize your character with, you have to buy. There is, as far as I know, 2 different in-game currencies. And this is what your default character slot looks like. Here I'm refilling my ammo right away. I left the match there because I considered it kind of pointless to keep playing since I couldn't shoot anymore. And the customization of your character is a big deal in this game. You can buy a crap ton of stuff. You also need to keep in mind that everything you have, like in terms of weapons and apparel, they deteriorate and needs to be repaired. You can of course also sell stuff. Now, repairing a weapon takes, at least when I've done it, about around 5 hours. And then there are weapon repair kits as well, but I haven't gotten around to use them. Here you can see some of the stuff that you can buy. Of course, there's no way for me to buy it. I don't have enough money for it. But yeah, helmets, boots, jacket, pants, gloves, everything. Also, all of the stuff that you buy has some kind of in-game effect. It could be either how fast you can reload your weapon, because certain type of gloves, of course the amount of bullet resistance that some of the apparel has. And I'll probably get into it more in the future if I continue playing this game, but as of now the game is in beta, so it doesn't really seem all that necessary to try to get into specifics and details. Then again, I've only played the game for about a day, so who am I to educate others? Now, the performance that you've seen in the game so far is based on the settings that you saw there in the very beginning, but I turned some of these things down a little bit. I don't need to see these things in Ultra. I think that's a bit unnecessary, even though I was able to keep it above 60 frames per second with these settings though. However, by lowering some of these settings that you just saw me doing there, my frames went up quite a bit. I'm now stable around, is it 100? Yes, it's starting to get there, at least indoors. Well, not really. It drops down to like 95, maybe some such. I guess it depends a lot on what map you're playing on and what's happening around you. The game is of course in beta, so that plays a big part also. I'm sure the optimization is going to be better. Now, speaking of maps though, this map looks, in my opinion, rather cool. So yeah, for you guys who have played any of the former S.T.A.L.K.E.R games that I mentioned earlier, you probably feel that to some degree this environment is rather familiar. I can assure you I do. Yeah, I have to show you this also. At the time when this happened, I had no idea what actually was going on. And what happened was I stepped into a bear trap. Yeah, it deals quite a lot of damage, and until you have opened it, you are, of course, stuck. Kind of funny, actually. Rather frustrating when it happens, though. So anyway, what I'm doing here is that I'm kind of holding this position. I'm waiting for these batteries to be charged up so that I can steal it and bring it back to our base. And there it was finally charged up, and I need to try to get this one home without being killed. So yeah, before I end this video, I just wanted to show you another one of the starting weapons. I don't think it has its original name, even though it is taken from real life. It's basically a bolt-action sniper rifle with 5 shots in the magazine, and with an iron sight instead of a regular scope. Personally, I'm not particularly fond of this weapon. I do a lot better with the Thompson-ish submachine gun. Anyway, I hope this video will give you a general idea of what Survarium can be like. And if there is anything you would like me to cover in the future, anything you have any questions about, then please don't hesitate to ask or suggest. I can of course not guarantee that I will be able to deliver though, but yeah, I will try this game out for at least a couple of days before I make up my mind. So yeah, with that I will say thank you all for watching, and bye for now.